I give consent to sever my memories between my work life and my personal life.
We're not happy. We're miserable.
What is it we actually do here?
People forget.
My wife.
She's alive!
I think that, you know, early on we were having a conversation and Ben was, you know, throwing the question out there, what is the first thing Mark would do when, you know, faced with this brand new explosive information that he finds at the end of season 1? And we're kind of talking about it and thought like he would just run. He would run and try to find Miss Casey and tell her to find out if she knows anything. Maybe he doesn't even know exactly what he would do, but his gut is he just needs to find her. And, you know, as he kind of moves through, particularly the first episode, he has to figure out what and how he can do anything from down here, from MDR. Does his Audi know this information? If not, how does he get the information to him? Can he find Miss Casey? And once he does, what does he do with her? He, you know, obviously, like the you know, if there's any justice in the world, he can get her out of here. But who knows how to do that? So he, you know, and I think that his gut need is to have his team back, to have Helly and Dylan and Irv back, because these are the people he loves and trusts more than anyone else. They're only friends he has in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting thinking about it. You know, I think I had that sort of reaction of almost like, okay, we're going back in and there's so many things that we want to do and tell the audience, and you know, we want to create a new season and you know, a new story, and I was thinking about just like, how do we sort of like start this and have it be exciting at the beginning, and then really kind of reset and sort of start this, you know, this build towards where we're going to be going at the end of the season. So that was a fun collaboration, you know, with Dan, of course, and with Adam and the whole, you know, cast and crew of just like, you know, diving back in, and it kind of it was fun to find these like little moments within the humor within the episode, and you know, kind of reset, get the band back together, you know, by the end of the episode, and give just like a little hint of what's coming at the very end of the episode. And yeah, it was a fun process making it. And of course, doing the stop motion film for me was a dream come true, to be a part of a stop motion special, because that's growing up with these Rankin Bass Christmas specials. So really, for me, it was really fun to do that.
I remember Ben telling me about his idea for the stop motion instructional video, not instructional video, but video that's kind of made for the MDR folks. And I just couldn't believe it and couldn't wait to see it. It's just...
Yeah, that was actually one of the first things we made when we went back into production. And it was Duke Johnson and Starburns Animation. They're great. We worked with them on it. It was really fun. It's great.
You know, that was just me. I just wandered into frame, and Ben yelled and I left. No, it's yeah, that is. I mean, I think everything on the show is something to clock. You know, I don't want to say for sure whether we will or will not get the full story behind that mysterious specter of a person, but keep an eye on it.
Your work will be remembered as one of the greatest moments in this planet.
It was a very delicate balance that we were all working together to figure out. You know, at what level is Helena doing a good job of portraying this inner rebel, and working with my team and with Ben to sort of modulate, it's like almost like Adobe Photoshop. It's like a little bit more saturation here, a little bit less exposure here, and just tweaking those dials throughout the first part of the season. It was a fun mystery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was really fun to watch you do it. I'll say.
I mean, I had to clock it, so it was interesting. It was based on what Britt was doing, and saying like, is that really, am I just doing what the script says, or I'm doing what Britt's behavior and the way she's doing it, if I'm the way I'm receiving it, and so it was a little bit of a dance that way. I think that's his training from where he comes from before he was severed. That's his training. He comes from, he has that kind of approach to things. I don't think he's mapped everything, I don't want to be a spoiler, but I don't think they know if he's mapped it up, but he's on to something. It's all connected to those paintings, and something happened, maybe to someone else, who went through that door, so he's on to something. So whatever he has, he's gonna, pass on to that. And that may be the reason, we don't know, that could be the reason, he went there initially. But it's not said. But it could be, could not.
Yeah, I think it has a big impact on Dylan. In season 1, Dylan is sort of, he's not exactly a loner, but he's not really interested in like connecting with anyone at the office. But then throughout what they go through in season 1, he gets closer to everyone, and he does have kind of like a special bond with Irving. And I think also what happens in this season, he becomes a little more isolated because so much is going on for him. So he's thinking about these other things. So it's not just that he loses his friend, it's also that he wasn't paying attention, and he wasn't as connected as he could have been in the moments leading up to that. So there's also this kind of process he has to go through of dealing with what he was doing and what he was missing out on leading up to that moment.
For me, I've done a lot of big emotional scenes, and if you care about your partner, I think I would venture to say we have a pretty good relationship, Britt and I. I wanted to make sure that I would really take care of her, and that she would be safe with me. So we worked it out as a dance. I know what it is to work with a partner who doesn't do that, and that you can hurt someone, you can get hurt. And I think if you do everything the correct way, then you can do all the emotional stuff. But it was going to be, hard no matter what we did. And I just wanted to make sure she was safe and she felt safe, and that we can do it, together. Because when you're working together, you can dance together, and you can go down those rocks together. You can take the steps together, and you can then put your energy into the right motion that looks good, but is good, for your partner. And so to me, that's I learned that a long time ago, and I just wanted to make sure, and she can speak about it.
I couldn't have felt luckier to be working with John for that scene. I just felt so incredibly safe, physically and emotionally. And the elements, were dangerous. It was cold.
It was dangerous.
We were on the rocks. We were in the wilderness. So I felt like the whole team kind of came together to figure out how to keep our physical bodies safe, and then you and I were able to go there emotionally to that place where the characters need to be. Right. And then it was really that moment of the transition is the first time we see Heliar in season 2.
Right.
And that was a very tender thing to return to.
Yeah. It's a really weird thing, because there's one part of your brain is saying, I have to take care of this person. And the other part of your brain is, I have to serve the scene. And I think the more in sync you are, the further you can go, emotionally too.
Well, this is an opportunity to give them what they've been asking for. It makes me think of the parent who says to the child, you want to go outside so bad? Okay, I'm gonna give you outside. And so he takes them outside and he creates this, outdoor retreat and team building occurrence as a way for them to bond as a team, to bring about productivity, but also for them to get an understanding of what it's like outside. He's crafting these narratives very intentionally. They see this dead seal. That was done by design, So what they're learning is that this place is very scary, but Lumen always provides. And they do. Gives them these tents. They have these delicious meats. He gives them a bedtime story. He's always giving them a level of comfort, a level of security, but also the realness of what life has to offer on the outside. Well, he's in trouble now. This orc bow, I believe, is his idea. And, he was taking a major risk to take the innies outside and create this atmosphere, this environment for them. And to find out that not only has Helena been outed, but she's in grave danger. She was gonna be drowned by an innie. So it was a major no-no. And on top of that, now he has to let go, Irving, which may have been one of his favorite, refiners, because he was always by the rules. And all of a sudden, there's this dynamic shift that's happening within the Severed Floor. And all of this is on Milchick's shoulders.